What is up, YouTube? It's your girl Evelyn, and today I am bringing you my top 5 lesbian thrillers. So sit back, enjoy the video, and there will be some light spoilers, so proceed with caution.
Oh, you're dead. You're dead. Get away from me, Jesse! You fucking psycho!
What Keeps You Alive is a bloody thriller that may just compel you to run a background check on your partner. Married couple Jackie and Jules are enjoying a peaceful weekend in a not at all remote cabin when Jules suddenly transforms into a poor man's villanelle and attempts to murder Jackie. I'm gonna be honest, What Keeps You Alive might be the goofiest thriller I've ever watched, but it's so much fun. There's something about watching Amy Adams try to murder Samira Wiley's white twin that just tickles me. Not to mention, I've never seen a protagonist that wants to die as much as Jules does, as evidenced by how many times she could have escaped but, didn't feel like it. What Keeps You Alive might be the least thrilling thriller on the list, but it is my favorite guilty pleasure and makes for a really fun drinking game.
Funny, I wouldn't have thought that you're a Nirvana fan of all the classical music you were playing before.
The classical playing is just a thing I have to do right now.
Oh, okay. God, could you imagine seeing them live?
It'd be really intense.
It'd be crazy. I had goosebumps just thinking about it.
Allure is the darkest, most psychologically scarring, and difficult to watch film on the list. It's about a troubled 30-year-old woman who instigates an inappropriate relationship with a 16-year-old girl.
What did you say?
Yeah, understandably, the premise is enough to turn most people off. And if you're one of those people, I completely understand. Allure is unflinching in its trauma, but it's also brilliant in the way it expresses the layers beneath that trauma. And Evan Rachel Wood gives a gut-wrenching performance that's almost too good. The sense of dread you feel every time she's alone with the girl is absolutely unnerving. Allure is definitely not for everyone, but it is one of the most unsettling and well-acted thrillers I've ever seen.
My husband's cheating on me. I want to find out what he does if you present yourself to him. You have a fair written all over you.
You made me fall in love with you.
Chloe is a standard early 2000s erotic thriller about a woman who hires an escort to test her husband's fidelity because, well, God forbid they have an actual conversation. Chloe is probably the best popcorn thriller on the list. It's not too dark, but not too light. It's sexy without being gratuitous, and the cast is stacked with talent. There's also a wonderful eeriness to the character of Chloe that's apparent from the moment we meet her. We don't know what's wrong with this chick, but we know it's something. It's Fatal Attraction meets single white female with a lesbian twist. What's not to love?
모르고 사는 게 좋아요? 큰 바다에 얼마나 많은 배들이 오고 가는지 떠나느니 돌아오느니 보내느니 맞아주느니 아가씨 제일 멀리 가본 게 어디예요? 뒷동산이죠?
지금 이대로도 괜찮을 것 같아. 너만 같이 있어주면.
I typically try to avoid including popular, well-known movies in my videos, but there was no way I could make a list about lesbian thrillers without including The Handmaiden. The second adaptation of the Sarah Waters novel Fingersmith, The Handmaiden is an explicit erotic thriller about a handmaiden's attempt to defraud a wealthy heiress. The plot is full of twists and turns, which I won't spoil for those of you who haven't watched it yet, or watched Fingersmith, or read the book. Okay, I won't spoil it for the two of you. Now, personally, I enjoyed Fingersmith a little more than The Handmaiden, but that's only because I already knew what to expect. But even as a second adaptation, The Handmaiden is so good and definitely worth watching.
Hi.
Thelma is a Norwegian thriller about a sheltered young woman who discovers she possesses psychokinetic powers. It's well written, well acted, and has one of the best and most understated opening scenes in any film I've ever seen. It's impossible not to compare Thelma to Carrie or I Am Not Okay With This, and in my opinion, Thelma more than holds its own. In fact, the religious upbringing / lesbian repression storyline is so well done, it could have held its own without a supernatural plot. Thelma is easily my favorite thriller on the list, and I cannot recommend it enough. What is up, you guys? It's semi-casual Evelyn here, and sorry there's no honorable mentions this week, but your girl has been busy over on Patreon. So I've noticed I've been getting more and more comments asking me to review or recommend certain TV shows or films or books, and unfortunately, I can't make videos about everything. So I've started a weekly What I'm Watching over on Patreon, where I quickly run through the things I'm watching or reading that week and give them ratings. So if you have a show, film, or book you want me to review, I invite you to come hang out on Patreon. Eventually, I also want to start hosting watch parties and doing live streams and other fun stuff. But, I gotta have people for that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop your favorite lesbian thriller in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.